Sergio Henao is managing to respond to that one. Still good ride by Serge Powell's there, and that's Thibaut Pinot on his way up, and Rodriguez as well, so they got slightly distance, and Contador's now got his grip.
Just look at this, he's setting the hammer down. It's Henao who looks the freshest of everybody because of his great team strategy today that just picks it up, and I think they're going to roll in together. They're at the 5k marker, so a full kilometre or more down from our leader on the road, but this is proper strength you're seeing right now, and look at the impact.
Yeah, the impact is massive, although I think Mikel Landa's done a fantastic job for his teammate there and putting the pressure on everyone else, and Sergio Henao is certainly looking good and working well with Contador. This is the chasing group then of Thibaut Pinot and Purito Rodriguez, defending champion.
It is. Pinot hoped to go with this pairing but just couldn't manage it. Henao and Contador then just selecting different sides of the road, and Contador not on the wheel because he wants the space to think about making a move. He does his familiar trademark stare into the eyes as he goes by. He does that so often. Just wants to read his man. I
think it was a bit of a quick chat between the two there. I said, okay, let's keep on working on this one because we're actually pulling away from the rest of them. So right now it's a question of putting themselves in a safer position to at least have the top 2 steps of the podium at the end of tomorrow's stage, and then tomorrow they can battle it out then for the final. 1
top
kilometre
of the mountain. That's it, top of the mountain in 1 kilometre's time, and then he will have a joyful run home. This is significant, the gap that these guys are posting on those behind them. Let's remind you, Team Sky and Air Now, not to be his day, but 4 seconds down on the overall lead. And there we are, that's Reichenbach with Rui Costa, and the leader as we stand at the moment, Wilco Kelderman, in the yellow jersey there as well. And they're just getting back to these guys. This is impressive.
Well, I wonder what's going on there, because certainly looking to me, it looked like these two were going very strongly indeed, and I wonder whether they're actually being caught back again.
Well, we'll see. This man is just going to catch a victory, and what a superb effort. Listen to this. Venga, venga, they shout. And this young, well, not too young, but nonetheless, 27-year-old Italian hits the crest. Not quite there just yet, but certainly the road eases for him, and the inclines are coming down, and the crowd inclined to show their appreciation as well. What a great race this has been, and the Queen's stage has been dominated by one man. What a supreme individual performance this has been, Magnus.
Yeah, it has been an absolutely outstanding ride that he's done all day.
3 kilometres to go now. He's almost there. In fact, it's virtually at the Flamme Rouge that it tips down. There is the banner, and there is the man who led this race coming into today. It is the leaders group. There is the yellow jersey, as you can see. He's in very, very good company with Rui Costa and the like. Contador and Henao trying to just make themselves a gap here, but it's a tenuous one as we speak. There's no doubt that who our leader and race winner is going to be, and these guys hit the 4k to go marker now. It's not the most punishing climb, Magnus, but it's turned out to be an emphatic win, albeit amongst the main favourites. No massive gaps today.
When you say not the most punching climbs, it's not the longest of climbs, but it's certainly very, very steep. Anytime you got the majority of a climb being at 9.5%, that's pretty special to certainly in my book. Kelderman has been on the ground before.
So maybe some rough stuff. That's what they were waiting for him on the descent. Yes, indeed. He's. That's why they were worried about him. They'd lost him on the descent, so he must have taken a fall, which actually underscores what he's done today. As he goes under the 4 kilometre banner, he's quite some way off Contador and Henao, but this man is almost at the top. Once he crests, then he can run in and take a famous victory, and it's going to be by a handsome margin as well, Magnus.
Yeah, I think it's we're looking at a good couple of minutes that it's going to hold on to at least, and what a ride by Diego Rosa, and just shows what a bit of courage and a gutsy rider can do.
This is amazing, isn't it? After such a race, they look amazing and relaxed here, Contador and Henao. And it's Reichenbach, by the looks of things, that's pushing on with Perito just behind, and that's a very, very good performance.
If it is Reichenbach, then he must have done a great ride to get himself back onto Perito again, because last time I think it was actually Thibaut Pinot.
We'll see at the end. Here we are then, and there is our leader, and indeed Landa, former leader. And this man, he won't be the leader today, but honestly, there'll be a huge cheer at the dinner table tonight for this man. What an amazing performance. Diego Rosa is going to bring this home in just 2 kilometers time. It doesn't matter how you write the script if you get the victory, but what a lonely tale this has been for this man. He's been out there for so much of the day alone. He's had to take the descents, which he's done brilliantly. He's had to engage the climbs again and again and again, 8 times in fact. It's been part of the breakaway. He's been determined, and that determination has paid off. There we are. That's going to be jersey handed over, I'm afraid, from Wilco Kelderman. And this now is turning out to be a race between this pair, and maybe the title beckons for one or other than when we get to the time trial tomorrow. The crowd then welcoming these guys, but only 1,500 meters remaining for the man who's going to win this day. I guess missed opportunities for some, but from the GC group, they've taken their chance, and this is Henao and Contador preparing themselves for overall victory tomorrow on the time trial. It'll be an exciting one, that's for sure, albeit only over 16.5 kilometers. So then, he now believes, and despite the grimace, I think that's partially a smile, and I'm not surprised. It'll be a face of relief and joy when he gets to the end. And Magnus, here's the Flamme Rouge for him. What a welcome sight.
I think this will be a very welcome sight by Diego Rosa, and yeah, you can only applaud a man who's gone out and given it such a gutsy move, and putting everything on the line. Right day to do it on, and the fact that there's so many guys now on big time gaps on the general classification, and it just means that you can do these kind of things. And I think it's just said a big thank you to his sport director for backing him up and giving him all the advice and the just keeping him calm all day as well.
There we are. It is a team sport, but sometimes individual effort comes to the fore. He's making sure that all his gear is straightened as it should be for the photos at the end. 500 meters only. He's got a big right-hand turn with about 100 meters from the line. It's a little bit of twists and turns here, but he's got all the road to play with. Let's just hope he stays exactly where he is. Nice and safe on the run-in. Oh, look at the relief. It's washing over him already. 200 meters now from home. He's already celebrating. He can take his time. Well, time, not the most important thing for him. It was about the stage win. And all credit to Diego Rosa. What a day. Almost 4 hours and 20 minutes. And he's going to lift his bike and walk it over. Oh, what a sight. He had enough time to prepare that celebration, and it was special. Everybody applauding, and no surprise there. What a day for Diego Rosa.
What a day for Diego Rosa. Yeah, that's a bit of a special winning salute, that is.
Well, he didn't care about losing a few seconds on the gap. Here we are.
Let's just hope everyone stays safe on this descent here now then, because that is a very taut final couple of bends, and certainly when you go in at full gas, I've seen it be a bit sketchy in the past on this one.
Yes, indeed. They're still screaming at the finish line, but this day has been taken. There's the leader, a little bit further back, as you can see. Well, so many of the breakaway had hopes on the day. Only one man in the end made it on his lonesome. That's good enough for us, and it'll be more than good enough for Diego Rosa. Will this be good enough for the victory for this race to be between these two?
Well, that's the question. I think that they've certainly done a good job in getting rid of some riders, but the question is how many, and what's the time gap going to be? Is it safe enough for tomorrow for them to concentrate on battling out the for the overall win, or we're going to have another mix from a few other riders.
We'll only see as they cross the line, I'm afraid, because there's riders strung out all over this mountain. You'll forgive us if the pictures haven't helped us today, and indeed no other data available as well as to the intermittent riders, but nonetheless, you know that Contador and Denau have posted a gap, but we'll get the time check for you in a moment. Still 2Ks remaining, and the Flamme Rouge has already fallen upon other riders ahead of them. That's got to hurt. Here it is, Flamme Rouge for Contador and Henao then. And the road just descends in, and they'll bring this one in, probably finish together. No time bonuses, we remind you, in this race, so it doesn't draw out a skittling finish at the very end, I'm afraid, from this pair. They'll be more than happy, I think, to finish with the same time, having done a good job on everybody else, Magnus.
Yeah, definitely, and it's going into tomorrow. Then there will be a 6-second advantage for Sergio Henao going into the time trial. So and here we go. It's Purito and Pinot. So they sail in. That's Cy Clark, I think they're about to pick up here, and coming in together as a couple of gladiators from the top circus, shall we put it that way. Henao would like it. See if he can just grab a little bit of a gap, and it's tighter than you might have thought, with Purito and Pinot just coming into the house right now. Here we are, no gap between Henao and Contador, a second back to Rodriguez and Pinot, maybe two. We'll see how they read it, but no doubt, I'm afraid, that Wilco Kelderman hands over the jersey this evening. Spirited though, nonetheless. This is Sammy Sanchez.
Sammy Sanchez coming in. Could have had an option today. He's wearing that white jersey. Is Quintana as well. Well, a huge day, and dominated by one man, Cy Clark. What a great guy he is. Another spirited performance by him again. He's had so many of them this year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been a fascinating final climb as well, with a couple of the big names losing out quite dramatically, and got another couple of riders here who we thought may have been slightly higher up as well. Certainly.
Rui Costa crosses the line then. Reichenbach, the aforementioned, also on the line right now, and had the beating of the likes of Kelderman today. Landa sacrificing himself earlier on. Wow, Magnus, what a day that turned out to be. We knew our winner from some way out, but it didn't make it any less dramatic, did it?
No, it definitely didn't. I find it brilliant to see guys that go out and take on a race like Diego Rosa has done here, and pull it off. That's it's a day that he will remember for a long, long, long time.
Well, us too, especially the celebration. It was a nice one. Good man. This is him just unclipping. Just in front of the line. It was about half a metre away. And there it was. That'll be on the front of the press tomorrow, and quite rightly too. Great win. He's got good teeth. There is the man who unfortunately has to hand over the leader's jersey. Good effort by Wilco Kelderman on a difficult day. Not part, of course, of the original breakaway. None of the chasers were. This is how it finished. Rosa takes the day ahead of Henao and Contador. Rodriguez and Thibaut Pinot, your top five. Just a couple of seconds between those contenders, as you can see. Let's have a look at some of the pain from those who've also finished just behind. And in fact, we're not going to be given that luxury of any more, I'm afraid, but we'll have our full results for you maybe in just a little while's time. We're going to take ourselves a brief break, and then we'll be back with the stack of how it stands up going into tomorrow's final stage in just a moment. Stay with us.